Welcome to the show. We're like an hour late. Now hold on a second here. Let's do that and then that and hi Zach. How's it going?
It's fine.
What time is it?
It's actually 6:24. Now, my phone did not want to report the correct time for some
Have you been like
which
an
it did on reboot.
you've been
No, I
like
didn't mess
you've
with
been
it.
an hour off all day apparently.
Yeah, I guess I have, but it didn't really matter until now.
I was gonna say, did you visit a different time zone or something?
I don't know. I just restarted it and it's fine now. I don't know. Whatever.
I love
Weird.
I love your message here in
I don't really
Slack.
care.
You're like ready? You doing the show this week? You're like early question mark? I'm like 5:30, same
Yeah, it was
time as
5:08 when I wrote that.
was like it's I was like 5:30, same time we always do the show. Your phone's like, it's just 5:08 right now. I'm like, what the hell? Then you restarted your phone and then it said the right time, but yeah, that's weird. Anyway, so yeah, so what else is new?
Nothing.
Might want to make sure that that's set correctly before you go to bed tonight, so you show up at work on time.
Yeah, I suppose you're right, but I could think of worse things to happen.
So,
It's too
why were
bad.
you late today, Zach? Well, you see,
You know, to be honest, if that happened, I would just not correct the issue and then I'd bring it in as evidence.
yep. Although the argument somebody would make is, well, you must have multiple devices that tell you what time it is.
Of course I do, but in bed, I only check one of those devices.
Mm. So I have gone.
Like, I mean, let's say you're laying in bed and you want to know what time it is. You don't go walk over to your computer. I don't.
Yeah, that's probably true. Yeah, I check my phone, but
Mm-hmm.
anyways.
Point made.
So I have made the switch from Fitbit to Garmin. This is the Garmin Vivo Active 3 Music, and it's actually pretty cool. Quick story. So I was taking a test on campus the other day in the testing center, and that place is like Fort freaking Knox. I kid you not. You gotta like take your keys out. Yeah, you gotta take your keys out of your pocket, your wallet out of your pocket. You gotta take your watch off. Which I don't understand because the whole place is rigged with cameras. It's like if I was gonna cheat, like it's on camera, so why does it matter? Like
I don't know.
how am
That
I?
is an
And,
interesting
and, and
thing. Yeah, I
here's the
don't.
other thing: how the flippity flop am I gonna cheat with my keys? Oh yeah, I cut. No, you know what? This would be a great one, right? Is because I know how to make keys. Just like cut a bunch of keys with different groovings in them, and like each groove means something different.
You know, honestly, if somebody went that far, like, they deserve it. Let's be honest.
But anyways, so yeah, but so anyway, so yeah, so because of this, I had to take my Fitbit off the other day, and I thought it made it into my bag, and it didn't make it into my bag. So I couldn't find my watch
Lose it?
after I got done. I lost it for about 24 hours
Oh, okay.
because somebody found it in the testing center and took it up to the like the switchboard basically at the campus, and then they called me and let me know that they had it. But here I am thinking, I'm like, well, that's probably gone. I'm not going to get that back. So went out to
So
the
you
store.
already bought another one?
Mhm.
Okay.
But you know what? Here's the thing. So I've had the Vivo Active 3 now for a little less than a week. I think Tuesday will be a week. And so far I actually really like this device. It feels comfortable, and I think honestly, the activity tracking on it is a little bit better, which is kind of what I want it for, and stuff like that. There are pros and cons, but I like this device pretty decently. So anyway, so hopping into tech topics for this week. However, though, before we do that, let's see here. We're going to talk about the FCC and cable monopolies. Google bricked devices.
There we go again.
Did you hear about this? Google bricked a bunch of devices.
I did not actually.
Of course, your Microsoft news. AT&T had a giant voicemail outage, and NordVPN was breached. Did you hear about that one?
I did hear that one.
Yes. So, with that said, I am going to go ahead and roll the intro. And back to us. And yes, so welcome to the show. Anyways, yes, Zach, the FCC is using streaming services as an excuse to raise cable rates. Yeah.
Okay.
The rise of streaming services could give cable companies an excuse to raise rates under a Federal Communications Commission order handed down on October 25th. The order, which comes in response to a petition by Charter, finds that AT&T's TV Now streaming service qualifies as reasonable competition for conventional cable, opening the door to a massive deregulation in monopoly cable markets.
Okay, great. Ugh.
Yeah. Under the Cable Act of 1992... Wait, what? There's a freaking Cable Act of 19... Oh, okay. Anyway. Local regulators are permitted to regulate cable prices in markets with only one provider. Local regulators are permitted to regulate cable... Oh, yeah, okay, yeah, that makes sense.
So if your town has only one provider, they can be regulated.
Right. Which makes sense, because otherwise they're a monopoly. Even though they're a monopoly anyways.
Even though they already are.
Mm-hmm. The provision is meant to prevent cable companies from leveraging that monopoly power to set unfairly high rates, even though they already do.
Oh, really now? That's something, isn't it? Wow.
Even though they already do.
That's really something.
Well, okay, but see, here's the problem. How many municipalities have, like, DirecTV and other stuff like that in them? Technically competition.
Well, yeah, it's just like saying, well, because a satellite can cover this area, competition. There's competition. Haha. Like,
So here's
a
the
little
thing.
bit questionable.
Here's the thing. When a new cable company comes to town, or your municipality, providers can then file to have those regulations removed.
Oh, okay.
So
that's exactly what we need.
Charter's case centered on a small group of territories in Massachusetts and Hawaii, but Charter's new competition wasn't coming from a competing cable TV service. Instead, Charter argued that AT&T's streaming service, combined with the company's existing broadband offering, made up a close enough substitute for cable TV that Charter no longer counted as a local monopoly. Despite opposition from both Massachusetts and Hawaii state governments, the FCC ultimately argued, leaving Charter free to raise its ultimately agreed in Charter's favor, leaving them free to raise their cable rates. Now, let me ask this real quick here. Okay, yes, a streaming service does... Yes, you're talking about a video service here, but how is that the same thing as a cable TV? It's not!
Just our daily reminder that cable TV needs to die already. Like, come on, get on with it. It's gonna happen. Just get it over with.
Okay, but this is the same thing as saying that...
Quick and painless.
Okay, hang on. Let's go back here. This would be like the same thing, right? They're an entertainment company. It's like saying, oh, hey, maybe not, but a video store moved in, right? Not that video stores exist anymore, but a video store moved in, right? And claiming that as competition. Yes, it is competition, but not in your same market. You're competing in terms of entertainment value, but like it's a different market.
I mean, it's just anything they can say, you know?
I would almost go as far as to say that your terrestrial radio and satellite radio they're two completely different things. They are not the same.
They pretty much are. Like, one of them is a product that you pay for, and the other is a publicly available product.
Right, but like, yes, it's both radio, right? But they're not
despite
in the same.
The fact that they both
they're
transmit
not the same market.
Content using electromagnetic radiation. It doesn't really matter because they're pretty substantially different.
Right, like in no way is a streaming service anywhere close to a TV station. Like
you know what? I'm gonna blow your mind. Get ready, okay? So, you know what else uses electromagnetic radiation to do things? My microwave oven. That means it's basically a competitor to cable TV. So get rid of my regulations, please.
Oh, okay. That's a far stretch. What I'm saying is what they're arguing is because the streaming services are a way for people to get content, then they are a direct competitor to them. Which, let's see here. Oh, AT&T's TV Now streaming service. Well, okay. Okay, hang on. I read this incorrectly.
I smell something. I smell BS.
Okay, hang on. I'm going to play devil's advocate here real quick. Because, okay, I thought it was just a streaming service. Like Netflix, right? Because Netflix doesn't actually offer TV, right?
Why does there have to be a difference between TV and not TV? It's like, it's video on your screen. Like, what's the difference?
But like TV has generally been something that is broadcasted, in real time. Streaming is something that is, it's all on demand.
I mean, yeah, you're right, but
so you know what? Let me and as much as I hate giant, communication companies and things like that, if we're looking at things technically, because they have a TV streaming service, technically I could see them as being competition.
I mean, they could be competition in a way because it's like, cord cutters might use this product, but
right, but they're still offering a TV service.
It's just such a stretch.
Yes and no. I actually sort of kind of agree with this. Well, I agree with I don't agree with the regulation about how, like, the unregulation and things like that, right? But what I'm saying is in terms of what the situation is here, when you're looking at it, yes, technically AT&T is now acting as a TV provider. So from that standpoint, I agree with the ruling in terms of them saying it's okay, I guess. Based off of how it's written. Now, the actual concept of it, I don't agree with. Like, no, but okay, so here's the thing though, right? So if Charter is going to raise their prices though, right? Now, and here's the other thing. Here's where this gets interesting, right? Is how does this work? Because I could see it working for... Here's where I think it's okay. If they're raising prices for just the TV portion. Because let's be clear, at this point, AT&T, at least as far as I can tell through this article here, is in no way competing with them in the internet market side of things. So if they're raising prices for their internet service, then I completely call BS on that. Because at that point, then, AT&T, at least in the internet market, is not a competitor to them. I don't know how the regulation is written, but does that make sense though?
It kind of does, but at the same time, I don't know.
Like, okay,
I just have a tough time having any sympathy for that.
Oh, no. I completely. Again,
I'm sure you know what I mean.
The whole theory behind this is just dumb. But if we're looking at it from a legal standpoint, technically, yes, they are considered competition, at least in my mind. So, therefore, the way the regulation is written, I guess I agree with it. In terms of, if we're looking at it just from a legal standpoint. I'm not a lawyer. I'm not a lawyer at all. But from that standpoint, I agree with it. From an ethical standpoint, and as a consumer, I hate telecommunication companies in general for the most part. So, however, again, and I've said it many times before, my local co-op, great. I like my little local co-op. So, but as the FCC put it in a statement, cable rights can be deregulated whenever an online streaming service option with comparable programming is available from an LEC affiliate in the franchise area. In this case, the FCC decided that AT&T's TV Now service met that definition. Wait, hang on, what? Cable rights can be deregulated whenever an online streaming service option with comparable programming is available from an LEC affiliate in the franchise area. Technically correct. So LEC refers to local exchange carrier, a regulatory term for the telephone and cable providers that fall under the purview of the FCC. Charter's legal gambit only works if the competition is coming from another LEC, which makes it hard for Netflix or Hulu to be presented as competitive. But with AT&T, Comcast, and other telecoms now launching their own streaming services, the argument can be applied far more broadly. Here's the question, though. If they raise the prices, and again, here's the thing. If they're raising prices and it includes the internet service of it, yes, I completely call BS on that. Because likely, Charter is probably one of the only ISPs in the area, right? But again, if it's just on TV, do they price themselves out of the competition, though? Or do they price themselves out? Does that make sense? Now,
right, I suppose. I understand where you're coming from.
I'm sure there are plenty of people who will just say, screw it, I'll just pay more because it's easier and convenient for me, rather than having to switch. But for some people will probably say, screw this, I'm going to go for a cheaper option. So, let's see. Charter explicitly confirmed that it would raise prices if the petition was successful, which many saw as proof that the streaming service was not truly competitive. Charter's acknowledgement of the immediate substantial rate increase that deregulation would produce makes clear that DirecTV Now, later rebranded as AT&T TV Now, does not provide any competitive check on Charter's rates, the state of Hawaii argued in its filing. So, Charter's acknowledged the immediate substantial rate increase makes clear. Anyway, okay. In considering non-cable offerings in the context, the Commission could effectively authorize analysis of over-the-top online video service in effective competition proceedings. Let's see. While the marketplace for video content has shifted considerably in recent years, your obligation to work in the best interest of the public remains today. After the order came through, there's a senator from Massachusetts sent out a follow-up statement decrying its impact. Today, the FCC paved the way for a powerful cable company to increase its prices without regard to the impact on consumers. I don't know. Are people getting smart enough to the point now where they just say, screw it, and they just jump ship? You know what I mean?
I would not even know, to be honest. I don't talk to people about their cable subscriptions much.
Right. Okay, moving on. Google will now replace home devices bricked due to the latest firmware update. If your Google
Was that
Home,
a thing? Lovely.
yeah, if your Google Home or Google Home Mini has recently stopped working, the good news is that Google will likely replace it. This year, there have been a growing number of reports of bricked homes and home minis on Google support forums via 9to5Google and on Reddit. And the volume of reports has picked up since mid-September. It wasn't clear what the issue was, and Google finally acknowledged that there was a problem in September. Of course. It seemed Google had a breakthrough, issuing a statement to 9to5Google the other day saying it found a fix for the issue, which was caused by an error in an automatic firmware update. Google says the fix will roll out to working devices soon to hopefully prevent them from bricking at any point in the future.
It's probably something we should be doing, yeah.
The company will also replace affected Google Homes and Home Minis, even if they're out of warranty. We are aware that a small number of Google Home and Google Home Mini devices are affected by an issue that causes the device to stop working. We have a fix that will prevent the issue from happening and will be rolling it out soon. We are replacing affected devices, the statement reads. Remember the smart home company that bricked smart locks?
Nest products? No, I don't think so. It was Nest products. Yeah, I remember that being a thing, but I don't remember.
Was it Yale or something like that?
I don't know.
I don't remember. Anyways, I remember that, but here's the thing though. So here's the reason that they're probably just willing to. Well, a couple reasons, but first, it's a good business practice just to replace the brick devices. And I would imagine that Google has some way of taking those devices and reflashing them somehow.
I wouldn't be surprised, yeah.
And then they're going to resell them probably is what they're going to do. Or something with them. So, anyways. But, yeah. So, yeah. This is the problem with automatic updates, is that it just takes one update automatically that's coded incorrectly to brick a bunch of devices, which is one of the things I hate about Microsoft.
Well, you know what else is a problem with automatic updates is that it takes away a user's agency over the update process.
Well, before you used to be like, oh, hey, there's an issue with my system. I just did an update. Something in the update probably caused the problem. Now when your device just updates and there's a problem, it's like, well, was it an update? Was it something I installed? Was it, like, you don't know anymore.
Yeah, that is a thing.
Which is annoying. But anyway.
Not a very good thing.
No, not at all. I hate it. And speaking of stuff, let's talk about our Microsoft news this week. So, yeah, here's what we got for Microsoft news this week. Let me open up the article. Oh, yes. Microsoft leak reveals Windows 10X will be coming to laptops. Whatever the frick Windows 10X is.
What even is that?
Yeah. So, Microsoft has accidentally published an internal design document for its upcoming Windows 10X operating system. Spotted by Walking Cat, the document was briefly available online the other day, and provided some more details about Microsoft's plan with Windows 10X. The software giant originally unveiled Windows 10X as the operating system powering the company's new Surface Neo hardware, but it will also run on similar dual-screen devices. Okay, so it's basically just another operating system. Hopefully this one isn't as stupid as Windows 10S. Probably, though. Microsoft has so far only officially confirmed Windows 10X will be available on foldable and dual-screen devices, with tweaks to both the Start menu and taskbar, but it's clear the company has now has ambitions to bring these changes to traditional clamshell laptop hardware. For both clamshell and foldables, the taskbar will be the same base model with a series of levers which can be pulled to create some alternatives in the model, explains the document. What the flip? You know what it looks like? It honestly looks like... Here, let me throw this up on screen here. It kind of looks like Chrome OS in a way.
Does it?
Yeah, go check it out.
Kind of.
Yeah, it does kind of look like Chrome OS. Yeah, when you like that part down at the bottom there. Windows 10X compatibility meets simplicity. Okay. So in Windows 10X, Microsoft now refers to the Start menu as the launcher. Isn't that what Chrome OS calls it?
That's what a lot of things call it.
Which has a stronger emphasis on local search. Search is seamlessly integrated with web results, available apps, and specific files on your device, reveals the document. Recommended content is dynamically updated based on your most frequently and recent used apps, files, and websites. Windows 10X will also improve the Windows Hello facial recognition authentication experience. When the screen turns on, you are immediately brought to a state of authentication, unlike Windows 10, where you first need to dismiss the lock curtain before authenticating, reveals the Windows 10X document. Upon waking the device, Windows Hello Face instantly recognizes the user and will immediately transition to their desktop. You know, what is the lock screen curtain thing for anyways?
I don't know. That's a good question.
It's just dumb. It's another click that I gotta click through. Elsewhere in the leaked document, Microsoft also mentions a modern file explorer. The company has long been working on a more modern Universal Windows app version of the traditional file explorer, and it appears this will finally debut with Windows 10X. It will be likely touch-friendly and simplified for access to documents stored in Office 365, OneDrive, and other cloud services. Of course it will be. Microsoft is also simplifying the Action Center, or the Notification Center, and quick settings in Windows 10X. This will make it quicker to access critical device settings and prioritize showing important ones like battery life. Windows 10X will also support customization here, but Wi-Fi, cell data, Bluetooth, airplane mode, rotation lock, and projection are all default quick settings. On the Office side, it appears Microsoft is prioritizing traditional Win32 versions of Office and the PWA web versions of Office.com for Windows 10X over UWP, which is, I believe, the new Universal
Windows platform or something like that.
Yeah. Microsoft does have UWP versions of its Office mobile apps, but the company put the development on those, or of those, on hold last year. We'll likely see a significant investment in the web version of Office over the coming year before Windows 10X ships on the Surface Neo for holiday 2020. Microsoft pulled its Windows 10X documentation offline before we were able to, before the version was able to see all the details. They've reached out to the company for comment on the leak, and we'll update the article accordingly. I don't see anything here. Is Microsoft just like... Does Microsoft think everyone is dumb?
Snapshots of web pages? No, those don't exist.
Or is it just that, or is this what we're heading towards? Is a more sleek, minimized, modern look? Like to be clear.
Oh, I thought you were referring to them pulling the page after everyone had already seen it and taken a snapshot of it.
Oh no, I'm talking the design of this here.
I don't have much of an opinion of it.
My opinion is that I don't think it looks horrible. It looks like it's been stolen from Chrome OS, for sure. Like, come on, guys, a little originality here. Although, as far as I can tell, this looks way better than Windows 8. But, like, do we really need this simplistic of okay? Maybe if they're making a competitive device to the, I don't know what the Surface Pro Neo is supposed to be, what kind of device it's supposed to target, but if it's supposed to be a direct competitor to the Chromebook, then okay, yes, I can be on board with this. But coming to your traditional,
people don't like change, so I don't know.
But coming to your traditional laptop here, if that's the case, screw off, Microsoft. I don't want this garbage on my laptop. So we'll see. And if it is something that comes to your laptop, at least the option to turn it off.
I sort of don't think this will replace your regular old Windows on laptops.
Better not, but it said the article says it's coming to clamshells possibly.
Really? That surprises me quite a bit. Well, who knows?
But it's clear the company now has ambitions to bring those changes to traditional clamshell laptops hardware.
Ugh.
Hell no.
That's stupid. Okay? Maybe you're right. Maybe they are going to do it. Maybe they are that stupid. Don't do it.
If they are, there's going to be a giant backlash on it, just like with Windows 8, that disaster. You know, here's the dumb thing. Microsoft never freaking learns. Oh, hey, you took away the start menu. People complained about the start menu going away. Hey, you know, people complained about the start menu disappearing a couple years ago. Let's try taking it away again and see how it goes.
Lovely idea.
You know, we probably shouldn't talk too much. We don't know if they're actually going to follow through with this, but if they do, no, not a good idea. Not a good idea at all. It just looks dumb. Looks really dumb. But anyway. Yeah, so that's a thing that's happening. All right, moving on. AT&T. AT&T claims a week-long voicemail outage will be fixed with a single device update. Zach?
Okay. I don't know.
Yeah, so
it's funny.
AT&T has been experiencing a week-long voicemail outage affecting some customers across the country. You know, I love when articles like this say some customers, because what is some, or a small number?
What does that really mean? It means most of them, probably.
So it's hard to tell exactly what's causing the outage or how long until it will be fixed, and AT&T is saying conflicting things about what's going on. Of course they are. But here's what the company told The Verge the other day when they asked. A recent software update to some devices may be affecting our customers' voicemail. We are working with the device manufacturers to issue a patch to resolve this and apologize for any inconvenience this has caused. I didn't realize that AT&T could actually push updates out.
They definitely can.
I thought
Yeah,
that
they
was on
definitely
the I thought that was on the manufacturer's side.
Well, I actually don't know, but it's possible that they just have the authority to tell the manufacturer to push whatever they want.
Mm, okay, maybe. Uh,
But I also think that, yeah, they can do that. I'm pretty sure.
hmm. See,
Why
this is
not?
this is what this says. This statement seems to suggest that only a single phone maker is affected, and that phone maker might share the blame for the outage. But that wouldn't make sense because AT&T customers are reporting a wide array of different phones that are having the same issue. See, because I doubt that AT&T can go over to Apple and say, "Hey, you need to push this update out to your devices." I don't know. Maybe they can. I don't know. But I kind of doubt it. Apple doesn't seem like the kind of company that would allow.
Yeah, see, it might be different with Apple, though. Because Apple's a special snowflake.
Let's be clear. Your iPhone is not made with pixie dust and magic and pixie dust, or is it, what? What is it
Well,
that people
Apple
usually
wants
say?
you to think it is.
No.
I don't know.
Nope. There's absolutely nothing special about a Mac other than the fact that I will give Mac on the design side. I will give Apple that. The design of things looks really nice. Not always the most functional. They definitely go for looks over functionality. But I think that's about it. You're not getting high end hardware really.
Oh goodness, no.
Or if you are, you're gonna spend a crap ton of money for it.
I hope you've got a kidney to spare.
Mm-hmm. Anyway, so right now there are 40 plus page threads on AT&T support forums concerning the recent voicemail issues. It was marked as solved on page 8 by AT&T. Of course it was. In the thread, AT&T reps have attributed the issue to something much different than a recent software update. They said it's because of a vendor service problem, first stated on October 9th and reiterated as recently as the other day, October 23rd. Now, it might be possible, as a few Verge comments are suggesting, that the vendor service is actually the device that that's being patched. I'm gonna guess is what that's actually supposed to say. It's strange that AT&T would just say that to us, though. Anyways, it declined to comment further. Okay, yeah. AT&T support reps also said that the voicemail issues are affecting customers in multiple markets. Let's see. There have been threads that this is apparently affecting users in Arizona, California, Colorado, Florida, Indiana, Nevada, and North Carolina, among other potential locations. Let's see. Some disgruntled customers say they filed complaints with the FCC. Okay. One who did says they were contacted by AT&T's office of the president soon after, which allegedly told them that the outage affected AT&T subscribers in North Carolina, South Carolina, Tennessee, and parts of Indiana, and said the issue was growing. The office also reportedly offered to two solutions to get voicemail working again. I love this. You ready for this, Zach?
What are we ready for?
Here is one of AT&T's solutions for getting voicemail to work again.
Oh boy, what is it?
Here's a crazy concept, Zach. Just wait for the outage to be fixed.
Oh, good idea. That's a really good idea. I think I will do that.
Or have your mailbox rebuilt. But that means losing any saved messages or messages that have been received during the outage.
No. I mean, would work for me. I don't use voicemail, but people who do use voicemail probably don't want to do that.
Yeah, it would work for me too. Somebody at The Verge tried calling AT&T's office of the president and identified themselves as a reporter for The Verge. They were told to speak to AT&T's public relations team. Of course, they were. Let's see.
They were told to buzz off.
So,
got it.
See, here's the thing. It's affecting Android and iOS devices more. Let's see. In the reporter's rough estimation from reading the thread, Samsung phones seem to have voicemail issues more than any other type of phone. However, people have also reported problems on iPhones, Pixels, Motorola phones, and even Fantech flip phones. Interesting. It should be noted, though, that this new skew towards Samsung may be because the thread is in AT&T's Android support forums. But okay, so here's the thing. If it's a software problem, when was the last time you updated the software on your flip phone, Zach?
I think a better question to ask would be, when was the last time I even saw a flip phone?
See, in my particular retail establishment, I see them come in all the time.
Well, aren't you fancy?
Usually older people who are looking for batteries.
Oh, I'm sure.
Although I wonder how many of them are going to have to get new phones, because a lot of those phones are still running on what system?
I don't know.
They're still running on 3G. And what disappears?
Is that getting phased out soon?
Yeah, what happens after the beginning of the year?
I don't know.
They're dropping 3G support.
That's funny.
Yep. They're dropping 3G support.
A lot of older smartphones are going to be in trouble from that too.
Mm-hmm.
Actually.
Was your S5 on
Oh, it was obviously on LTE.
Oh, was it on LTE?
Yes, it was.
I think the telecommunication companies just don't want to support the 3G network anymore.
Well, I mean, to be fair, LTE is it's been around for long enough time.
And a lot of these telecommunication companies are now focusing on 5G now.
Yeah, I mean, I think the 5G is questionable, but whatever. I mean, it'll get better.
Yes, it will. I think, wasn't LTE still like kind of like it took it a while for it to like really get good, I think, didn't it?
It's been too long for me to even tell you, to be honest.
Let's see. Yeah. But anyways, so I'm betting you AT&T did something, and rather than admitting that they did something, you're just like, oh yeah, it's a software problem.
Well, technically it is a software problem, even if it is their fault.
Somebody turned the server off somewhere. I don't know how voicemail actually works. But anyway. Final story for this week. NordVPN says one of its servers was breached in March of 2018.
And why are we only just finding out about this? That's
yes. Good. So there's some good discussion here. But it exposed some of the browsing habits of customers who were using the VPN service to keep their data private. NordVPN says the server located in Finland did not contain active logs, usernames, or passwords, but the attacker would have been able to see the website users were visiting during that time. A company advisor said, although the content of the websites likely would have been hidden due to encryption. Although I heard that they stole the encryption key.
I don't recall hearing that. However, what I heard happened, like you said, they weren't able to learn anything about things people had done in the past. However, while they were on the machine, essentially, they were able to see traffic in real time of those using it. However, if I understand correctly, there would be no way to specifically target a person who uses the service, because, I mean, they would not have the means to specifically get that person on the compromised server. if that makes any sense.
Hmm.
If they wanted to snoop on someone in specific, they would have to be fortunate enough for that person to have just randomly happened to connect to that server.
Yeah. So
In any case, probably not good because, somebody who does that doesn't care who they're spying on. They just want to steal sensitive information.
exactly. Now, over the past couple of years, NordVPN has become a lot more popular as it's gone on its very heavy advertising push. I mean,
It gets pretty good reviews.
often, yeah, you often hear NordVPN ads in the middle of a podcast, or find your YouTube people talking
You know
about
what's funny
NordVPN.
is that I nearly switched to because they were cheaper than PIA when my thing ran out this year, but then I got a deal on PIA, so
Yeah.
I still have PIA. Well, good thing I have PIA still.
PIA user offer code down. No, I'm just kidding.
Who even knows? I don't know. For all we know, they got breached too and just aren't telling anybody.
Right.
It's kind of a scary precedent that something like this could happen, and you just won't even know until a year and a half later or whenever they decide to tell you.
And see, okay, here's my thing: is that in the world that we live in today, everything that is online will be hacked. It's not a question of if it's going to be; it's a question of when it will be. Everything is going to get hacked. Everything is going to get hacked. And here's the thing, is that the actual hack itself is not the problem for me here. It's how long it took for this to come out.
Yeah, I mean, that's scary, isn't it? I think it is.
Like, oh, we'll just sweep it under the rug and nobody will ever know.
Just don't tell anybody. And I mean, I understand that there are valid reasons for that.
Right, but
because it could, make things worse.
Right,
but still,
once you have things figured out,
it didn't take this long.
Right, once you have things figured out and secured and put back together, then you should say, hey, somebody had unauthorized access to our systems. We've got the problem under control.
We've corrected the problem. Here's what happened.
Here are steps that you can take to protect yourself. And
I wonder if they're able to know who was affected. Now, I know that a lot of these companies, they specifically don't log a lot of things. So it is possible that, in fact, they have no idea.
And I'm gonna guess that that's actually the case. I think
I would almost feel better if they didn't know. It's like that means they really did what they said and they kept nothing, because that's what they all say. They still say we keep no information. No one can get it.
Yeah, you know what? So I have an active subscription to NordVPN. And it really makes me wonder now. I'm not overly concerned, because a lot of the times, like, my main system right here is not going through the VPN right now. Like, I don't know. I just am not that concerned with it. But, so for me, it's like, okay, fine, I could kind of care less. But from a standpoint of just honesty in the company and things like that. Like,
yeah, I get what you mean.
On that standpoint, it's like, really, guys, come on. Like, okay, stuff happens.
Of course,
stuff happens, but don't be a sleaze and try to sweep it under the rug and just act like nothing happened. Own up to it. It's not always easy. How many times have I been working on a device and I've broken something? Right? And it's like, crap.
Yeah.
I gotta tell the boss I broke this. It's like, I don't want to, but like, It's like, yeah, I screwed up. My fault. And you know what? Usually the reaction is like, ah, crap. Okay. And then it's done. Versus trying to hide it and then making it way worse. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I get what you mean.
So it's better to just kind of fess up at first and just be like, hey, you know what? Like, here's what happened. Like, I would have way more respect for a company if they did that than trying to hide it from me. So, now, potential attackers could have gotten only into that server and only intercepted the traffic and seen what websites people were browsing, not the content, only the website, for a limited period of time, only in that isolated region.
Now that is good, kind of, that it was, relatively contained.
Right. Okay, I give them credit for that. But again, where I still think this is inexcusable is that it took this long for us to know about it.
Yeah, absolutely.
So, Tom Ochman, he's a member of NordVPN's tech advisory board, says NordVPN usually changes the server each user is connected to every 5 minutes or so, but that users get to pick which country they are connecting through. So that means users likely would have only been impacted for intermittent periods of time. The breach also could have only impacted users who were connected through Finland, which is where the breach server was located. So again, yes, they did. It sounds like they did a good job of containing it just to one server, which is good. But again, like, still no pass on it taking this long for them to tell us. But yeah, so details of the breach started circulating over the weekend by security researchers in a blog post. The other day, NordVPN said it had known about the breach for a few months. Inexcusable.
A few months, no.
Inexcusable.
If they know about it for that long, then affected users need to know about it.
But they did not immediately disclose the problems because the company wanted to audit the rest of its system. Okay.
I mean, fair enough, but again, that doesn't take this long.
No, it shouldn't. It shouldn't. The flaw was limited to a single server, NordVPN says. The data center installed a remote access server on the server without telling the VPN provider, and that system was insecure, allowing an outsider to gain access, according to the blog post. Now, okay, here's the thing. How much at fault, I still don't give NordVPN a pass here, but how much at fault is the data center?
I don't know. I don't know. What do you think?
Well, okay, here's the thing. If a data center is installing software to a system that I am renting from them.
Yeah, I mean, that
I would like to at least maybe know about it.
Seem like something that should happen.
Right. Because as far as my understanding is they give you space in their server racks to do what you please with your space.
Yes. Well, they could have been leasing the servers, like leasing the actual equipment, so it was not owned by.
That's true. And while remote management software makes sense in terms of easeability of getting into the system and managing it and things like that, it's got to be secure. Especially when you're allowing direct access in. And apparently, according to the article here, it was not secure. But here's my thing, is like, okay, hey, we're your rack space, or let's say you're renting space from AWS or something like that. Hey, we'd like to install remote access software into your system. Is that okay?
No, it's not. because of this.
No,
or,
I
sure,
prefer
you
not.
can because whatever. Simple.
Right, exactly. Now, the servers were vulnerable, or was vulnerable between January 31st, 2018 and March 20th, 2018, but NordVPN believes it was only breached once during March. NordVPN says information taken from the server couldn't have been used to decrypt traffic on any other server. It acknowledges that a stolen encryption key, which is now expired, could have been used to perform the man-in-the-middle attack. See? There we go. Yeah.
And again, snoop on what people were doing.
Mm-hmm. With the hacker,
or where they were going, not what they were doing.
Right, with the hacker disguising themselves as a NordVPN server, but NordVPN says such an attack would have to be personalized and complicated and apply to a single person at a time. No other data centers were affected. NordVPN says it has cut ties with the company that maintained the flawed servers. I will give them a point there. Ackman says the company doesn't believe any information was taken, but that NordVPN will be informing its customers of the breach by email. Something that should have been done a while ago. Quote, I would not call this a hack, Ackman says. This is an isolated security breach. Hack is too powerful.
What?
I
don't know about that.
I don't know about that either. If somebody gets into a system without your consent, what do you call that, Zach?
Well, I think that the technical definition of a hack is to do something unintended.
That is true.
That
is true.
So, by definition, this was a hack. They did not intend for someone to do this, and someone did this. So, hack. Simple.
According to Dictionary Online, the gaining of unauthorized access to data in a system or computer.
Well, that almost fits the definition even better.
But you're right. The actual definition of hack is to do something that is not intended. But anyways. But like, okay, again, here's the part that is still inexcusable about this, is that this happened in 2018, right? The beginning of 2018.
No one knew about it yet.
Right. The beginning of 2018. It is now the end of 2019. I don't know how many servers NordVPN has, but you can't honestly tell me that it took NordVPN almost 2 years to audit all of their servers. I call BS.
Well, it didn't. Yeah, it definitely didn't take that long.
I call BS. But yeah. Here's what my final thoughts on this are, though, is that I will continue to use NordVPN because honestly, what I am doing when I have a VPN connection on is really not all that, like, it's nothing horrible. It's just like, oh, okay, I'd rather prefer that the campus just isn't tracking where I'm going, or I'm sitting in a coffee shop and I'd prefer that the guy who's trying to hack into the Wi-Fi, I prefer them not to know where I'm going with my traffic. But like, I'm not doing dark web stuff that like can't be like. So for me, like,
spooky, scary.
Yeah, for me, it's just kind of like, okay, fine. Like, I don't agree with it. Yeah, they should have said something sooner, but like, okay, this happened. Moving on. Now here's an interesting concept, though. From a business standpoint, let's say that NordVPN was sponsoring us.
That would be tricky. I don't know.
I honestly, so I watched a video from Jay's 2 Cents the other day because he was teamed up with them as an advertiser, and he made the comment that he would no longer, at least for the current time being, no longer be working with them. And I think from a business standpoint, I completely agree with that statement. You know,
I mean, that's tricky because it's like, you know, you can agree that, yeah, I mean, they handled it, they made some mistakes, but they didn't do as badly as some, I guess.
that's true. I think
But still, like, you know, not ideal.
I think when you're looking at it from that standpoint, though, NordVPN is supposed to be the services that you're paying for are a service that protects you while you're online.
But yeah, the fact is, it did not do its job.
And
yes.
And while I acknowledge that no system is perfect, everything at some point will be hacked. And let's be completely clear here. The fact that they got hacked, or the server was accessed, whatever they're calling it, but the fact that they got hacked, that is not the part that bothers me. The part that bothers me is the integrity that the company has, or lack of integrity possibly that the company has for their customers. That is where I do not agree with them. Hey, we got hacked. We fixed the problem. You guys are safe. Here's what may have been breached, just so you know. Here's how you can protect yourself. If there are ways to protect yourself, we're sorry. Oh, okay. Things happen. You guys let us know. You've secured it. Let's move on. But leaving it this long to tell people, that is where I have a problem. And so from a business standpoint, I completely agree with Jay's decision, and I would honestly probably cut ties with the company as well, until they can prove to me that if there's another problem like this, that they're not just going to try to hide it. So that is my opinion on that. But no, leaving it this long to tell people, doesn't sit well with me. So, and I don't know about you, Zach, but I'm guessing you agree.
I agree. I do agree.
So, anyway, with that said, I've got nothing else to say. So, yeah. And that, my friend, is our show for you this week. So, thanks for joining us. You didn't have anything else to add, did you, Zach?
Did not.
Okay. With that said, thanks for joining us. Thumbs up if you liked the show. Thumbs down if you didn't. Get subscribed down below if you haven't done that already. Turn on the bell so you don't miss our future videos. We're here pretty much every Sunday. At what time, Zach?
5:30 usually.
What time is it right now?
It is 7:27.
Are you sure?
I am sure, yes.
Is that what your phone says?
No, that's what my computer says.
So what does your phone say? Is it still correct?
Well, it says the correct time now.
Anyways, all right. That does it for us this week. We'll see you next week here on The Ram Show. Bye.